Howdy folks, Skirbo here back with more Old Stream Farm. It's 6 o'clock in the morning on day 4 mid-spring. Got some dirty equipment here we're going to have to wash. Did get the field 4 all done yesterday, finally. Took a little bit of doing. Let's take a look here at our fields. So you can see we got them both growing. And ended up putting some canola down on 4. This brings me back to the sturdy equipment. I had some problems with that Massey Ferguson sewing machine. You know how it was bouncing around in field 1? Well, it was even worse in field 4. It was bouncing so much it wouldn't even plant. So I ended up returning that. I did a little bit of cultivating too to see if that would help. Didn't really help with the bouncing any, but I ended up trading in the Massey Ferguson, and I got this little Accord DL here that worked quite nicely. Zero problems with that. But anywho, we need to get the girls taken care of. That's kind of our morning chore here. You can see they're wanting some attention. And then the grass isn't quite long enough, I don't think. We're going to go check the grass. We may be able to cut just a little bit just to get the productivity up on the cows. But first order of business, let's go get the cow stall mucked out. Now, I'm going to start using the Gearbox mod, I think. I've been playing with that on some streams and whatnot. And since it has auto hold, I've gotten rid of the parking brake mod. There's not much point in the parking brake mod, to be honest, unless you have free rolling vehicles. Now I may for the most part leave these tractors in automatic. It depends on the transmission. Not all of them have good support for the manual. This lined up. Even in automatic, you choose the range basically, and then it goes up to the different gears. It's kind of strange how that works, but that should get the girls cleaned up. It's a pretty straightforward process. Whoa, girl. It's a little weird how these Massey's transmission works, but we'll play around with it. See if we find something we're happy with. Still getting used to the transmission, as you can see. Alright, turn you off. So the cleanliness should tick over. Oops, I forgot to set that back to 5. I'm going to keep that on 5 speed. That should tick over here in a little bit. Oh, I left the other tractor up at the hayfield, so we actually need to use this one. We need to get some water in, we need to get some food in. Let's get the food out there, and then we'll get the water in, and then the cows should be happy. Hop out here and get the gate open. This map you have to hold the key down for it to open, which I guess is okay. Yeah, girls, we're coming through. I try not to run over my cows, but sometimes it's unavoidable. They like to stand around in the way. Alright, we'll make sure we're set. Unload on the right side, and we are. So get them filled up. So the auto hold that it shows there is basically means the clutch is in and the brakes are on. This Gearbox mod actually has full support for a clutch axis, like if you're using your wheel. But I'm not using that. Let's kick her down to 3. So we're going to need to fill this back up. I'm going to just go park it in the building over here. By the bales. I know in, I think it was video 2, episode 2, I kept referring to this as hay. What I meant to say was bales. It's obviously hay, straw, and silage. So we'll just leave this right here. I think the animal should be pretty happy. We just need to get some water. And like I said, we'll see if we can mow some grass. So we'll leave this here. Left our water, yeah, left our water tank out here. So I've got all the hay equipment we need here, or grass equipment and everything out here at the field ready to go as soon as that grass gets high enough to do anything. That was an absolutely terrible job of backing up I just did. Wait for that auto hold, or I think it'll just keep going. I suppose it would stop when you hopped out of the tractor. You could test that. Yeah, it just stops. Come on. Get out of the way. Trying to give you some water here, girls. Alright, well, I've already clipped through you, so we might as well follow through. Not doing the greatest job of driving today. That's for sure. Better get this gate closed. We'll have cows out everywhere. Okay, it'll take a bit for that to... Oh, no, it already ticked over. So, they should be good for a couple days. So we'll park this tractor right back over here. Look, I almost didn't run into anything. So that does P and that does G. Okay. It's like a range and a gear thing. And I just discovered we got a giant jug of water here. We don't have to go into town to get water. So I have to remember that when we fill up the tanker. Let's jog back out here to the grass field and check. I don't know that it's ready to mow. But I did mow a couple passes just to get some grass in the wagon. It's not a ton of grass, I don't think. Yeah, this still isn't very tall. But it'll be enough just to get the girls going on full productivity. Pick up down, the wagon turned on. I actually did that wrong. No, that's not what I wanted either. Grass is so thin it's almost hard to see. Believe it or not, I did mow up through here. Yeah, there's the other set of grass right there. The grass just isn't tall enough really to get much, but we'll get a little bit. So let's go ahead and use our hand throttle here. We'll try to find the grass. We're up to 6%. I think it's going to be a few more days, probably midsummer maybe, before we get the grass very tall. But I want to keep those cows at 100% productivity. So I'm going to run around here, gather up the grass, and I will be back in just a bit. Alright, we didn't get much, about 2,500 liters, but it's a little bit of grass. So I'm going to go put that in the barn for the cows. See how they like that. Did I just dump that on the wrong place? Nope, it went in. They're just being a little dirty. Yeah. Alright, cool. So that'll get them for maybe a day or two. We'll see how the grass lasts. If we have to mow a little more short grass, we can do that. Otherwise, it's pretty much just a waiting game. Park this right up here under this tree out of the way. There we go. It's not showing the cows for some reason. I guess it'll show it when it updates. But anyway, I think that'll do it for this episode. We've still got quite a bit of daylight left on day 4, but I'm not sure there's a whole lot we can do. If there is, I'll bring it back in. Otherwise, I'll see you in hay season. Thanks for watching, and take care.